the sun rises across Uganda, a new dawn in luxury living awakens. Salana Lifestyle and Residences is Uganda's newest, most prestigious and award-winning lifestyle destination, an address for those who dream differently. At Salana, you're close enough to the hustle of the city, but far enough to come home to a sanctuary of smart living. Join a community of like-minded individuals where everything is taken care of and safety and security come standard, where each community has a clubhouse, play area, pool, and other incredible features. Let an oasis of calm greet you at the end of each day with manicured gardens, pathways, parks, bicycle tracks, and so much more. Whether you're upscaling or settling down, buying a first home or investing,
Salana has it all. Uganda is now open to the world.
Imagine waking up to a dream where luxury meets tranquility. Welcome to Salana Lifestyle and Residences, a sanctuary of elegance where every detail is curated for your comfort. From impeccable security to serene garden pathways, Salana offers more than a home. It's a lifestyle. Now, your dream is within reach. Salana's exclusive New Year's sale is here. Buy your home today, starting from just $139,000 US. Salana Lifestyle and Residences, now ready for occupancy. Live, work, play, and shop the Salana way. As the sun rises across Uganda, a new dawn in luxury living awakens. Salana Lifestyle and Residences is Uganda's newest, most prestigious and award-winning lifestyle destination, an address for those who dream differently. At Salana, you're close enough to the hustle of the city, but far enough to come home to a sanctuary of smart living. Join a community of like-minded individuals where everything is taken care of and safety and security come standard, where each community has a clubhouse, play area, pool, and other incredible features. Let an oasis of calm greet you at the end of each day with manicured gardens, pathways, parks, bicycle tracks, and so much more. Whether you're upscaling or settling down, buying a first home or investing,
Salana has it all. Uganda is now open to the world.
As the sun rises across Uganda, a new dawn in luxury living awakens. Salana Lifestyle and Residences is Uganda's newest, most prestigious and award-winning lifestyle destination, an address for those who dream differently. At Salana, you're close enough to the hustle of the city, but far enough to come home to a sanctuary of smart living. Join a community of like-minded individuals where everything is taken care of and safety and security comes standard, where each community has a clubhouse, play area, pool, and other incredible features. Let an oasis of calm greet you at the end of each day with manicured gardens, pathways, parks, bicycle tracks, and so much more. Whether you're upscaling or settling down, buying a first home or investing,
Salana has it all. Uganda is now open to the world.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us this morning on the Financial Literacy Program being hosted by the National Social Security Fund, the leading social security services provider in Uganda. My name is Aisha Nakanwaji, a certified financial literacy trainer and educator at NSSF. I would like to appreciate you all for sparing your beautiful morning to be part of this conversation that is very pertinent to you, I guess, but to all of us. Yeah. This program happens every last Friday of the month, and for those who are joining us for the first time, we have the recordings for the previous sessions on various topics about money on the NSSF socials, that is LinkedIn, X, Facebook, and predominantly on YouTube. We have a whole playlist. Feel free after this conversation to dial back a bit on how these conversations have been rolling out over the past. Financial literacy today, behavior and money, and how it affects your wealth journey. That's the topic for discussion today, but I would like to let you know that at NSSF, we believe that financial literacy is not about numbers and bank accounts. It's about choices, it's about habits, but also mindsets that shape our future. We believe that the right financial knowledge starts with one person, but it has a multiplier effect. One person has an impact on the household has an impact on the community, but also when we keep moving this knowledge around, it has an effect on the nation at large. So ladies and gentlemen, you're most welcome, and for committing your personal time to be part of this program. I would like to let you know that the National Social Security Fund, for those who might not know what it is a social security services provider. We collect contributions, both mandatory from companies through their employees and employers, but also on a voluntary basis. You and I can contribute for ourselves on the Smart Life Flexi Plan, which is our new product that caters for all of us. Yeah. Also, I'd like to let you know that NSSF is a full-time member of the International Network of Financial Education, which is a global platform. This global platform brings across policymakers, public authorities, private authorities, and stakeholders in the financial education space. But what this network does is that it helps us to implement, design financial literacy policies and programs. So the NSSF Financial Literacy Program is very privileged to be benchmarking and picking best practices that are world-class. So be rest assured that the knowledge we share here is world-class, but also we tailor it to fit our local realities and our situations here locally. I would like to let you know that the panel of experts and we have on board today are going to share their expert opinion, but also their personal opinions on money and behavior, which is a very pertinent subject here at the Financial Literacy Program, because we believe that your behavior predominantly affects how you use money. Yeah, I would like to take you back previously among the initiatives that we participated in under the International Network for Financial Education, which I just alluded to earlier, the Global Money Week. It happens every March And this is an annual initiative by the Global Space Financial Educators. And currently we managed to do some initiatives in the northern part of the country this year. We hope that next year we shall bring you on board on our different social platforms to see what we are doing, because we believe that financial education and behavior can also start as early as school and the young children. That's why we went ahead to see that we also do some initiatives there. So as I conclude and as I introduce our host for today, we have a distinguished panel that she's going to introduce to us. I would like to let you know that the objective of this financial literacy program at NSSF is there are just three things that we want to achieve. First, to reverse statistics that have been very negative, I can say. According to a FinScope survey that was conducted in 2018, we found out that only 20% of our savers were achieving financial independence and comfort in their retirement. So that is the one objective we want to change, that very, very negative statistic. Secondly, we want to empower members with the confidence to make decisions boldly, but also impact what they do on a daily basis. But number three, we believe that NSSF shouldn't be your only option as you plan for your future, because you need more options beyond NSSF. Beyond what mandatory, what your employer is doing, we now have the Smart Life Flexi Plan, where you can top up your contributions, but also, if you're not privileged to be under a company that is contributing for you, you can save on your own. All you need is your national ID. We are starting from as low as 5,000 shillings, and as long as you're 16 years and above. So as I introduce our host for today, I would like to let you know that what you need from these conversations, because they happen every last Friday, is for you to pick out one idea, one practical step, and one renewed mindset for you to change your life. So our host today is a very special being, I can say. She's been a very big fan of this program, but above all, she's an NSSF member, just like many of you in the program. Mariam Iga Nansamba is our host for today. She'll be able to introduce the panel of distinguished guests that we have today, and allow me to read her profile before she comes on the set. Nanza is a trailblazing thought leader and a multifaceted professional who is renowned for delivering game-changing insights across the globe. That is professional and on business platforms. Yeah? What does Nanza specialize in? She has expertise in alternative dispute resolution. She has expertise in ESG, which is environmental, social, and governance, but also public-private partnerships. She'll tell us more about that. So Nanza, you're most welcome to shape the conversation going forward. Our audience would like to know more about you if you care to share, but you're most welcome to take us through for the next few hours on this program. Thank you. Good morning. Thank you very much for the lovely introduction. And I cannot add to that bio. I will get to introduce myself a little more as an NSSF member and saver for purposes of this conversation that I can hardly wait to get into. My name is Nanza, and we are here to talk about money. The NSSF Financial Literacy Program happens every month. And for about, this is month 8, we've talked about money, they've talked about money, and today we are here to have the difficult conversation that is behavior. We are going to talk about money and behavior from a baseline perspective of who we are as the people who handle the money. And don't you worry, I have a very able team of panelists here with me that are going to dissect from first principles our money and our behavior. I will introduce the panel shortly, but I would like us to have some food for thought as we dive in to see the gravity of this conversation and not take it lightly, even though we are having it in a casual style, in the comfort of the Enterprise Uganda home. I'm already letting out the cat on who the panelists are. But it's exciting to sit in the plush suburbs of this town with a person that I have discovered to be wealthy,
because he has defined wealth away from everything else we've known, and another panelist that I'll introduce shortly. Just for consideration, have you heard of the phrase, people are so rich, all they have is money? People are so poor, rather, all they have is money. Like you have so much money, but you are so poor. I am not an expert. I do have the experts here to help us understand what true wealth is and how our behavior contributes. I will start with introducing with the panelists that we shall call why, the why behind the behavior. We have agreed to have an approach to this that will make it relatable but also serious so that we don't miss the important discussions. On my right is Ruth Matoya, a distinguished seasoned therapist. She is going to help us cry. She's going to beat us into senses. She is going to use scientific methods to get us learn the lessons that we did not learn at 4 and compress them into this hour conversation. Ruth is a counselor who has experience in trauma. I think you will learn in the next time we spend here that we have money trauma. We are all walking around with money trauma of sorts. She has taught and supported people through resilience journeys and recovery. Her work is deeply rooted in cultural sensitivity. She's not going to give us AI-generated money, cookie cutter. So my left is the man himself. I struggle to call him Ochichi because before the cameras went on, we made a connection that he was my Mr. Ochichi more than a decade ago when he was teaching us the very principles that he's living. Ochichi is hosting us in his home, next to his home, like the company Enterprise Uganda is in, how many stories is this? How many stories?
Yes, 7.
A 7-story building he now calls home for Enterprise Uganda, a dream that he has built diligently, slowly, which is about less than a kilometer from his home where he lives. I would like to introduce him as the true definition of wealth, but without taking away from his credentials. Ochichi is the executive director for Enterprise hosts in this beautiful space. He has very many credentials, but for purposes of understanding why he's on this panel today, Ochichi has helped over 200,000
That's correct.
medium and small enterprises in Uganda. He has contributed to job creation and economic diversification. The last one being diversification, because he has broken stereotypes on what income generation is and where money can come from. He has served in many capacities and continues to serve, as he's going to tell us. But I think his heart, and I know his heart beats for taking us out from our mindsets by giving us the tools. So while Ruth is going to be the why for this conversation, Ochichi will be the how, to take us through the ropes so that you don't leave flabbergasted and scared and paralyzed, but we know what our next steps will be in acquiring wealth. Welcome to the show, Ochichi.
Thank you so much, Nanza, and I'm so delighted to be on this program. And I know what a beautiful opportunity to have Ruth here, who has got psychological aspect money, and what a beautiful thing to have a person who connects sharing this session. Thank you so much, and let's have a great time here.
Thank you very much. Maybe for the benefit of our users, now that we are in your home,
yes,
graciously, let me give you 30 seconds tell about Enterprise Uganda.
This is an organization that was a brainchild of the United Nations in 2001. And at that point, we were picked from different entities. Ochichi came from PTA Bank in Nairobi. We formed a team of 5. We started the organization, ran it for the last 24 years. During that period, we managed to reach Ugandans of all categories. Those who had never handled 1,000 shillings, to those who have handled 50 million per month, and all of them coming to Enterprise Uganda to witness financial transformation. And the testimonies are amazing. So here is a story that now has been crowned with its own home, and a home that represents a journey of solid experience, of solid content. is Enterprise Uganda's new home.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
And thank you very much. We are going to dive straight into our conversation for the day. And those who are joining us, welcome to the National Social Security Fund Financial Literacy Program. This program happens every month. If you can't catch this program live, it stays on the media platforms. Or if you hear things that are new to you, please feel free to go back with an open mind, with an open heart, because our goal in the next while with a psychologist in tow is to have a mindset change around money behaviors. I am actually humbled as excited to be a front row student. So I'm here to learn with the audience as we dissect our behavior and money. And in any situation as it is, we have to start by destroying what is to create what ought to be. I suggest that we start with a few myths around money and wealth. I did a quick survey as we waited for the cameras to come on, and it's amazing what and how people perceive wealth. I'll start with a list of my own, then I'll share some. The myths about money, I said the first one, some people are, it's not actually a myth, this one. Some people are so poor, all they have is money. They are so poor, all they have is money. Another one, especially in our African setting, children are my wealth. Another one is when we go to the spiritual side, blessed are the poor, for they shall see the kingdom of God.
True.
Then on the flip side, money is the root of all evil. Then on the other side, the neutral side, YOLO. You live once.
Yes.
So we all have a money type.
Yeah.
The audience will agree, and for those who are live with us, please type in the comment section what your money myth has been. Others have taken it a notch further. As I checked with the people, some think wealth is for Illuminati. Then another very common one, especially our people with the realities that we grapple with in the world of joblessness and tough economic times, that people need a godfather, a sponsor, that there's some external factor that helps us to become rich. And if you miss it, then it doesn't matter how hard you try.
Correct.
But this is my thought as I invite the professionals into this conversation. We are going to talk about the psychology of money. And my personal belief is that financial success is not a hard science. It is a soft skill where how you behave is more important than what you have and what you know. And to start us off in this conversation is Ruth herself. Tell us about the psychology of money.
I will summarize it.
You don't have to, because this is the foundation.
Okay.
So please take all your time from first principles to tell us about money.
That I would want to say this. Money is not built in your account. It is built in your daily choices and behaviors that you have. It is built in your mindset. Now, your mindset is usually created right from the time you're born. What you observe, what you do, and what you think needs to be done. Those money spending habits start from right in childhood. What did you see your parents, how did you see your parents spending money or earning money for that matter? So that shapes the way you want to deal with money in life. If your father was the sole provider and you saw him sweat hard, as a girl, you might be thinking, a man will be my source of wealth. That is why we these days have young women who think men must do their hair, their nails, everything, and they sit back and don't earn anything. When the man leaves, then you're left poor.
Yes.
Then if you grew up where there was total poverty, that, you know, even the poor would call you poor. The issue you do is when you get money, you don't want it to leave your vicinity. So you pile and pile and pile it in your bank account. And you are afraid to spend it. You are afraid to invest it. You are afraid to take a risk because that will set you towards the poverty that you fear. I have heard people saying they hate poverty, they don't like poverty, but you don't see them growing. Why? Because they must keep money. Again, if you grew up with a laissez-faire, money was available, and it came and you used it the way you wanted, it will shape the way you look at money. Maybe you don't take risks, but you spend, and you spend, okay? So your mindset also matters. When you think that money is here for now, then you say, tomorrow will take care of itself. Today I'm alive and I'm going to take all the amount I need for today. So you will see people driving flashy cars because they have gotten maybe a good bonus of 100 million, and they will buy the flashiest car, they will go to the biggest holiday, but by the time they come back, there is no money because they did not discipline their mind about the uses of money. Money is about time, you know. People think that you have to have a particular space in your lifetime that you must have gathered this amount of money, and then you say, wow, I have arrived. Money is not, it's about patience. It's about the values that were inculcated in you during childhood.
There is where I want us to put a pin, because as we unpack the psychology of money, we are going to peel layers, which I believe from your training and your vast experience, you'll help us understand. But to bring it to the practical side, Ochichi, do you remember anyone who has won lotto or a lottery, whether here or naturally? Do we remember them? What happened to them? People win money, then what happens? From your 1 to 3 experience, why don't jackpots and lotteries, and now we have betting, kapapula? What happens? What do you see with those kinds of scenarios?
First of all, when you look at the betting route for accessing money, you don't put much other than just putting a bit of some little money, and then you kind of wait for something to pop out. Now, if that is how your money is going to come through, that's a very, very erratic, unsustainable, unpredictable way of getting money. For money to come to you, and to come to you non-stop, you must be in a place we call marketplace. What is it in terms of a service or product that you gave out, that somebody said, oh, this is beautiful, I love these bananas. My kids enjoyed them. Who gave me these bananas yesterday? It was at the roadside. And I remember that young man exactly where he is. Tomorrow I'm going back to the same place. I love this passion fruit. Where did I get it yesterday? It was that person there. You are going back with money to the person who made you happy yesterday, and then you tell him, please continue bringing this kind of...
You're appealing to the financial emotion.
Correct.
Is there anything good that can come out of betting or lottery, or is it completely doom and gloom? Like, if we are to be rational. Still to you, Ochichi.
I can only say this when it comes to putting betting to be part of society. If it is for fun, let it be. It should never be the source for you to become looking for money to pay school fees, looking for money to pay rent, looking for money to take somebody to the hospital. If that is the route you are going to be using, doomed are you.
Thank you,
But
Charles.
if it's just fun, oh, I put my thing there, something came up, I got a motorcycle.
All right, but that is exactly the discussion I was laying the background. It was a trick question, but I didn't want the scientists to take us down a rabbit hole before we everyday people understand. There is such a thing in psychology as a money brain. Our brains, the way we have as an early childhood, teenage, puberty, and it has nothing to do with your calendar years. You can be a 40-year-old with an early childhood money brain specifically. But also, to have a balanced conversation, I want Ruth to dissect for us brain trauma. That when it comes to money behavior, like seriously, you talked about family, you talked about dynamics, you talked about economic times. From a psychology angle, let's talk about the money brain, let's talk about trauma and how it affects our money choices.
Okay. Now, trauma has a big impact on the way we think because it affects the brain. Now, I will put it in a layman's language that the brain can be divided into three. And I want to use my head. This part of the brain has to do with thinking and making decisions.
The frontal.
The frontal.
Front
no,
or frontal, as they call it.
The frontal lobe. And then we have the middle brain. The middle brain has to do with our feelings and emotions, the pleasures and the sadness and the quick way of feeling. Then the end of the brain, that's the last part of the brain, the back part of the brain. This is survival, okay? Where we breathe, we eat, we sleep.
The mechanics of the body.
The mechanics
invisible,
of the simple mechanics, movement.
that whether you're thinking or not, you breathe in oxygen and
Yes.
your blood is flowing.
That is called the mammalian brain, or we can call it the very, very, very
Least developed? Most conservative?
most conservative part of the
Of our brain.
So when somebody has come from war in Congo, usually they will walk. They are pregnant, they will go on labor on the road, they will deliver and continue walking. Why? Because at that time there is a trauma going on. There is no thinking, there is no feeling. There's just survival. Okay? So you whose brain has not been traumatized engages all the sides of the brain. And that is why we can work with a traumatic brain. Will be a brain that has switched off in one part of the brain is not feeling, okay? So probably when you have a lot of trauma, then you are not thinking right. You are focusing on survival, all right? And your thinking has been distorted, whereby right now you want to think of which direction to take and all that. So whenever a brain has been traumatized, the first thing that goes away is thinking. Where we talk about the flight or freeze mode, you know, flight means we are frozen, we are running, or we cannot think anymore. So you see a person who has been traumatized is under high stress, and all they think is about survival. And so they will be thinking about where the next meal comes from. Their thoughts are very, very distorted. They don't see future.
Maybe to put a pause there, you have used an example of a war-torn zone, and somebody out there is thinking, I've never been to a war zone, I've grown up in Kololo, Naguru, Butabika, whatever, but the Port Bell where our Chichi stays, but the money behavior, because the people who are betting, who are what we are calling new money versus old money, have probably never been to a war front. The biggest catastrophe we've all seen in our generation is COVID, where we're just holed up in our houses and we're doomed to just be playing video games and cook a homemade meal for the first time. So it may not be trauma from one, but what are the real everyday traumas that cause us to have the money behaviors? Can you think of any? Just a second.
I could think of so many.
Okay, please go ahead.
So many. The trauma doesn't have to be in war. It doesn't have to be in death. It takes place all the time within ourselves. Let's say you are living in an abusive family state, okay, where your wife is terrorizing you day and night. I'm being deliberate about wife because many people talk about husbands. That's normal. But there are wives that really terrorize. You are living in a very highly abusive relationship. There is a point you stop even thinking about yourself, and you cannot even save, or you cannot even go out and work. You cannot even visit a bank because it has triggering things, all right? Let's look at children, for example.
Very good.
There is abuse within the family. And that is where the child's esteem, abilities to do things, to think, to be decisive on certain things, to be creative. Creativity dies when there is trauma. So even children that have the ability, or young people, let's say in campus, they have been sexually abused in the hostel. okay? And they have money that they could be using, but the abuser in the hostel might tell them, I need us to go out and drink. And
But
they
Ruth,
drink out the money.
This is where I need to ask. The examples we have are all extreme. We are talking rape, we are talking SA, sexual assault, but the majority of us, if we are to go population-wise, okay, there's the school of thought that people don't talk about their trauma, so the stats are wrong. The number of people who come out when they have gone through war zones and who come out to be documented are less than the statistics.
Yeah.
But can we bring trauma to everyday life? Is it something that is modeled in childhood in a normal basic home like Ochichi's? Can we guarantee that the junior Ochichi's have not experienced any trauma that they will have the ability inbuilt in them to build or maintain what Ochichi's senior has? So let's talk about money behavior. Yes, there's the trauma part, but for everyday people there who have just woken up, done their best, worked a good job, earned a good career, but they are not wealthy. So maybe we can ask Ochichi here.
Very good question. And I want to say this. We've seen so many statistics, and when we're opening this conversation, one was given about NSSF. People wait for 55 years to go and pick their only savings. They leave that money. Within 2 years, they have lost it. 80% of them lost it.
That is trauma.
80% of them
That is trauma.
have lost
But
it.
they have never been to war and they haven't been sexually
That's the point.
assaulted.
That's
So
the
the
point.
vast majority of us fall there.
That's the point.
Whether the savers or the betting winners or the lottery
Correct.
winners have not gone to war. Yeah. Please go ahead.
Right. So you find that this is a group that, first of all, they had no less than 30, 40 years of earning money and practicing certain behaviors. And then they take that behavior to their final resource called the saving from NSSF. And may I say this? NSSF was picking that money and saying, no matter how many children you have that are sick, you are not picking this money until you are 55. You survived that period. You lived with that restriction. They tell you, your child is being chased out of school because of 200,000. You have got 22 million at NSSF. They say, you will not touch it. You continue to somehow move on, and that child has finished university. Do you see what is missing between that period when the law tells you don't touch and that period when now you touch the thing and you are free to use as you want? The key word there is the discipline.
Discipline.
To now say, I managed to live my life when they were telling me.
And made these lifestyle changes.
Correct. I ended up staying in a particular accommodation. I could have moved to a better accommodation, but the law did not allow me. I continued to use public transport, but this money is 80 million. I could have gotten a vehicle to move, but the law was giving you the forced discipline. That discipline must go into your bloodstream for you to change and make money to know your address. Here's what I want to say. Money will know the name and the address of anybody who will make it grow in your hands. If in your hands, money comes in and money leaves immediately, forget wealth. No amount of a salary increment, no amount of a loan size, no amount of a cheap loan of 2% interest or even 0 interest will make you become rich.
You couldn't say it better. About it's not about what comes in, but how much of it you keep. And we are still having a conversation about wealth and behavior. We have dissected the myths and put them out there for your consideration. We hope that you keep your myths coming so that we can laugh about them after this financial literacy and then demystify them. We've talked about the psychology of money in brief with the able knowledge of Ruth, who is a trained psychologist. We've gone through the money brain and she has broken it down in scientific terms. And then Ochichi here has talked about the discipline.
Correct.
I want to shift the conversation back to the, I want to call her doctor, money doctor. For this conversation, please don't quote her because we need to get to the why. And the definition of wealth sometimes, we're going to talk about new money, old money. The debate is still out there. We don't know where it will end. That money and wealth is not what we see. It's what we don't see. It is the car that you don't purchase. It is the diamonds you don't buy. It is the renovation you postponed. The neighborhood Ochichi has talked about, he didn't live in until recently.
Yes.
And it comes about when you have that discipline to understand that accumulating wealth, because poverty, richness, and wealth are two different things. Some people have money, they are rich, but they're not wealthy. So to you, Ruth, the biggest school of thought out there is about money being a script. The way you see how actors come and they give you a script and they say, today you're going to be sad, then you find a way to create the tears. There is a script that we are inevitably referring to that informs our money choices.
Okay.
Would you please speak to us and to our audience about that script? If it is a good script, how to amplify it, no matter the source, because we've talked about childhood, social, geopolitical, now we have even IT pressures, which is social media, and how to look a certain way, how to rewrite that script or rewire it or defy it in that instance from our first principles.
Okay.
Thank you.
We read from a lot of scripts. We read from our peers. We read from training, the trainings we have about money. We read from our childhood, okay? We read from mentors and other people that we look up to. Now, when we look at peers...
You mean not reading per se, but reading the script that comes to mind, the messaging. The messaging. That we formulate in our brains about money.
Yeah, comes from our peers, our environment, our lifestyle, and so many other things that I have mentioned. But let's look at things like peers. We need to know that all of us are born differently, but all of us have got the potential that everybody else can have, given the right circumstances. All right?
Everybody, please say that again for the people in the back, and please look in the camera.
All of us are born in different circumstances. All of us have the potential to make the best out of our lives, despite the circumstances. It is our mindset, it is the training, it is the exposure, and the willingness and patience to walk the walk until we make it.
What Ochichi called discipline.
Discipline, our willings. So if we are reading from the very different scripts that are offered us, because life gives us the whole, life is not mean. It gives us the scripts. It's what we are going to do with that script that helps us make money. Or become wealthy. Or not make money, become wealthy.
Right there.
Right there.
Is the conversation we are going to continue having. Those who are joining us, please feel free, one, to share your money myth and wealth myth, but also I want to put another one in works. If you receive $1 million today, don't worry about the source, Illuminati, or Chichi gives you, or you pick it up, or it's traced to your bank account. What would be the first thing you do? Just share with us so we can build a conversation around that. I am going to take this moment to be vulnerable, to build on the background about formative years and scripts and money psychology, and also in defense of my people. When we sat here, Ochichi talked about enterprise, that is on the corporate stage, and talked about formulated by, I don't know, 24 years, UNDP. So to speak, there was a gamba no go, if we wanted to take it that way, if I took it as a myth. My reality with money and my money, we are going to come to types, is formulated principally on a family level.
Okay, yes.
I come from a family that is, let's say, an even number of children. We have a first half, then there's an age bracket, then the lower half. Of course, that tells you that we were born in different times, whether in our family financial situation or the general times. The first half, we have played it safe.
Yes.
We have one parent who we look up to, and these are our parameters for why they are a wonderful parent. Lived, worked, served peacefully. No one owes them money. They don't owe anyone money. But as you grow older, you realize they curtail their potential to financial freedom because of safety. Then we have this younger half of the family that have grown up.
No luck.
My lecturer, don't be disappointed. You taught me through MBA.
Yes.
But in my MBA time, there was no crypto, there was no, even stock bonds, we learned them for class purposes. Yeah. We didn't know about, what are these things? Bank assurance, where you can even pay school fees for your unborn children.
Yes. Yes.
So you see our money types have been fostered, okay, I was very embarrassed to learn that my younger siblings have education funds for their babies, and I have been living by the grace of God, and God has been faithful. But with all my MBAs, you had the CV, it is in this big edge of mine at the 4th floor that I had my first conversation with a financial guru or whatever. Thank you, NSSF, by the way, because as I start to approach my midterm access and seeing how these people who have proactive 1-year-olds have school fees. One of my siblings keeps saying this young man's university fees are already in the pipeline. Me, by the grace of God, we have made it. So the purpose of bringing back that vulnerability is, one, to give a chance. And we say we don't know because we don't do because we don't know any better. For people who are out there who are thinking, sometimes all you need to do is turn the tide, turn the trajectory. I've put myself out there to confirm that the first time I have had, other than to answer Mr. Ochichi's MBA questions, to think how what is it called, a treasury bond is on my 4th floor level. I had an MBA for the last 10 years. And I had never made the correlation between what Mr. Ochichi taught me until I saw my sister getting her first payout from a treasury bond. I'm like, so these things really work, even if the government changes. So wealth, as we talk about mindsets, we are going to give ourselves grace, because beating ourselves is going to also create another set of challenges. But also, it is going to bring the conversation into our next phase, which is the magnitude.
But all we do is learn from Bill Gates, Robert Kiyosaki. You know, those people are very far-fetched. And we are not learning from Mr. Ochichi, but clearly from what you've said, you did it for classroom purposes.
Yes.
You need to come.
And I passed very highly.
You need to be intentional, deliberate, and get it from the source of everyday people. After seeing my people get words from a little discipline, I'm like, oh my God, this is not classroom. But thank you for bringing Bill Gates, because that was my next point of discussion. And the headline is about magnitude and chance. Yes.
First of all, again, I'm here advocating for the people who have not done it very well, but we are on our recovery path to financial freedom, like as seriously as that sounds. I want to come to you, Ochichi. This Bill Gates story has a very common theme, but when people have started going deeper, especially psychologists, there is the X factor that no one talks about. Yes, he went and learned and did his own thing and took the unconventional path, dropped out of college, went to his parents' garage. But there is one thing that I want us to discuss for purposes of learning today. When Bill Gates was studying, the short time he was at uni, his uni was the only uni in the whole of the US that had access to a computer.
That is true.
We don't forget that.
Yes.
So we cannot fault Sekabanja down there or Odongo, where UPE is his only reality.
Yes.
The magnitude of chance in wealth creation. Please speak to us about it, because the Bill Gates story has been a one-sided story for a long time, and we remove the fact that sometimes you need a push start that ignites your already God-given potential.
Very interesting.
Yes,
Very
Ochichi.
interesting. If you pick the story of a Ugandan called Mr. Mulwana, is now the late Mulwana. Mulwana was a driver of the Kalema family. But as he was driving, he had some extra time in his hands. And he started repairing cars and then a bit of a garage. Along the way, as he was beginning to get his customers, the man made sure that whoever came yesterday to repair a car should go away happy and bring back that car. And as they do that, they tell their friends, do you know that man there was a driver? That fellow has got a good garage. Before you know it, he has now clients who are doing repeat business. They are 8 in a month. 6 months later, the repeat business is maybe 60. But the repeat business is from people who have relatives who have bought cars, friends who have bought cars, and they will be pointing to the same garage. Before you know it, the man's garage has taken off, but he's still a what? A driver. Do you see something there?
Yes.
We create psychological limitations in the way we behave. I am an accountant. I work from 5 up to this. I have no time. Mulwana had no time. And when you're a driver, your boss can disrupt your timetable anytime.
That's true.
And there's no saying, sir, I'm first attending to this car here. No. The story of such a man just tells you that to what extent are you doing anything to expand the salary that you were paid last month so that it begins to bring repeat business. The word customer is synonymous with the word money. If you don't marry the two and you want to say, you know, I leave it to God, you're in trouble.
Charles, Mr. Chiti, right there is where I'm coming to you, Ruth, because he has ably made a case for chance and taking chance. Ruth, you're here to help us, the ones who are stuck in analysis paralysis and all that. The aspect of luck and risk. They say that the biggest risk is not taking any risk at all. Why are people, even an MBA graduate like me, it has taken me 20 years to take financial risk. Why do we fear money conversations? Why do we fear taking risks from a psychological angle? Because that's what forms our money behavior.
Yeah, because we have a lot of false evidence.
False evidence, number one.
A lot of
Please elaborate.
You have seen your classmate start something and fail. You have seen another one start and fail. You have seen rich people go down, and you say, I cannot go that way.
Exactly.
That is the main thing. We personalize fears of what has happened to others, but we have not put ourselves out there to do anything that is that can help us do better. Yeah, I would say this: taking a risk needs you to understand yourself and to put out your best foot forward and be consistent about the foot that you have put forward. I'll give you an example. Small girl here in Mobs came to school. She did not have pocket money. She did not have house rent. She did not have money to even photocopy. She came with a pen, a book, and money for a few days. She's asked the landlord. She was living with somebody in the servant queue, which was normally a chicken house. So she said, can I clean your house? Potential risk. And the person looks,
where was the risk in that? In putting themselves out there to be rejected. It could be yes, no, don't bother me. So that is the risk, perceived risk.
Perceived risk.
Perceived risk.
You might be a thief. You know, you have nothing to lose.
So overcoming that initial risk of taking the step one. Fear. Of me having a question about bonds and securities 10 years late.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah, that's good. So the little girl cleans the house very well. Again, no putting your what can I call them? Your talents, your abilities to use. Yeah. So the lady, somebody visits and says, "Wow, your house looks clean." Who cleaned? Some student whom I'm hosting, and I gave her little money. So again, the power of multiplication. The other, can she also clean my house? She was an evening student.
So from the risk angle, it was just that small motion of calming that narrative of they'll reject me, they'll do this, all your worst fears, refusing or facing them and going ahead anyway. Then a multiplier effect beyond you.
Now, she owns a cleaning company. She continued studying. And she has employees, but she cleans.
So number one, why we fear and the risk issue is one, the narratives we have. Then the second one, if we can go, because time is going very fast.
And just joining my sister Ruth on that same subject of why we fear to cross the line.
To cross the line.
And start doing something is you always feel there's a possibility of failure.
Fear of failure. So we saw false evidence, then fear of failure.
Fear of failure. And the more educated you are, the more you have grown in the corporate world, the more you consider that as a big issue.
Why?
How can I be seen a general manager in such and such a company,
an MBA graduate,
start a small business, then I fail? What will people say?
So fear.
So here is the message. Most startups start with very basic resources.
Yes.
And by that nature, very few now will want to get there.
Yes.
Say that
Because
again.
most startups, you will not have enough capital.
You
will
won't
not have,
rent
you
in
will
a
not-
nice place.
You will not have the good location. You will not have the best workers. You will not have networks. All these are against you, almost saying you are going to fail.
Maybe right there is where we need to engage our audience. Those who are joining us for the financial literacy program, the conversation is getting heated.
Yeah.
But don't worry, we have an ambulance. In the name of a psychologist, if the room catches fire, she's here to use the tricks and tricks to bring our brain back to a sanity so that we learn, we unlearn, we relearn, we remember, so that we can build with. I'm going to cross another delicate line, Ruth, because in your bio clearly says you have worked with culturally diverse people, individuals, and communities. The issue of spirituality and wealth, then generational wealth, the myths around it, then generational curses. First of all, those who are out there, tell us, one, the risks you have taken, and if they are paid off, or if you burnt your fingers. Tell us the fears that are stopping you from taking sound decisions. Tell us about your experiences with financial discipline, honestly and vulnerably. The good thing here, everyone has their story, so there's no judgment. But for the general majority, there's a cultural influence on our money behavior. Yes. Can you talk about generational wealth? And if you are comfortable, generational curses, can we break them? Or money is in the blood? Is money in our DNA? We even say it, that family in Uganda, it's such a city Musai, so to speak, eh? It's like as if it is a chromosome that you have or you don't have.
Okay.
Ruth, please tell us about generational wealth.
Generational wealth. I will, from a biblical point of view,
whichever you're comfortable with.
A man should leave something for his children, okay? That's a biblical concept, that you must leave some money for your generations. It's a legacy. Owning money is a legacy. It's not just for your own generation. It is for the people that will come. So that doesn't mean you live badly so that your children can live better. No, it just means that you must leave something for that. Now, when we talk about generational wealth, that is the mindset. I am not working for me. I am going to work for the people and to leave not just money, but to live and saving culture and all this have been imparted to the next generation. So that is
the values under what?
The values around money, I would say that. About generation of wealth, about keeping of wealth, and about disseminating wealth have been properly inculcated in the generation.
So it's a value-based outcome. The way you put something into a computer, then it processes, it's a value-based.
It's a value-based.
That is on the side of generational and family wealth.
Yes.
Whether spiritual or land. We have a wealthy man on my left. Mr. Ochichi, I'm calling you Mr. Ochichi again. You are unapologetic about your wealth, not the money on your bank account, but in terms of what you have done in acquiring your dreams, whether physical, tangible. Then you talked about your children. If the next generation of Ochichis, we believe the values have been inculcated, if they make it, do we think that the generational blessing will be because the person who laid hands on you, or your godfather prayed, or your mother fasted dry? Let us demystify wealth and spirituality from a general angle. From a success story. Oh, you have something to say. But please remember.
No amount of fasting and laying hands without value.
But my father owns the cattle on 1,000 hills. So the Bible says.
That is what the Bible says. If those cows on 1,000 hills,
the cattle on 1,000 hills belong to my father.
Yes.
And I naturally inheriting
you will inherit it. But will you give it to your grandchildren?
That is what the person who is living the life is going to. And I'm not talking about them. Yes. Please don't come from Mr. Chichi for money. He's so rich, and the only thing he doesn't have is money, but he has wealth. Yes. So tell us about generational blessing.
Let me start by stating a very basic statement that prosperity thrives on the
Now you're bringing prosperity. We have wealth. Since you're the teacher, tell us rich, wealth, prosperity, so that you
we
do not...
We can go for any simple word.
Yeah.
Wealth, money.
Okay.
Prosperity, money, wealth, all those in a simple form. thrives on the law of reciprocity. In other words, you have picked money. Whoever gave the money is also happy.
Yes.
The moment that happens, you are in a game you can't believe.
Say that again. You have picked money.
And the one who has given you the money is equally so happy with you because you have made them happy.
So it is the gift that keeps giving.
And I'm going to stretch it to the point you now begin to say, now I understand it. Here's the message. Muyingo starts his school in a sitting room. He sweats it out. No registered school, no teachers, but he starts with the 9 learners.
Is that passion or risk?
That's the risk he took.
Risk and passion.
He survived a lot of judgment from fellow teachers, colleagues, family, relatives. How did he survive? He concentrated on delivering results. And as the numbers of learners increased from 9 to 33, 33 to 300, 300 to now 500, and then they started saying, this man is gifted. What made the conversation change? The results. Now, this fellow who was starting with the 9, he's the one who had the vision. The fellows who are talking, they are talking without seeing his vision. And that's the complicated thing about listening to public opinion. We will talk on the basis of what we are seeing. Is this Nancy with all the BMBA and all this? She's doing that? Did you see her? Then they even take a photo and circulate it. At night, you can't sleep. You feel like that circulation was correct. They didn't know that what you are starting was going to be a long-term vision. And as the results change, the conversation will automatically change. The challenge is this. The God that we serve never gives you a dream or a vision of what will happen after you have started with 9 learners in your sitting room. Because if you was to do that and just say, Mr. Muyingo, this is you now, it is now 200. This is the 9. Give it 5 years, do you see your children running? Give it another 10 years, do you see how you have now started building the units? Give it now 14 years, do you see how many campuses you have? Do you know that you wake up with energy like this? God says, no. Live with your vision, sweat it out, produce the results, let the conversation be premised and shaped by.
So, Ochichi, you are confirming that generational blessings are accompanied by values and long-term, not instantaneous magic wand.
Yes.
And if we change that mindset around either it is in the blood or it is not, then it is the first step to shifting the conversation and mindsets.
Let me talk about generational transfer of wealth. It can happen the moment the founder of the first entity realizes that what you found is independent of all of you, the founders.
What do you mean?
What I mean here is, can you put systems on how to run this business? Recruitment, processing of orders, marketing the business, managing finances, all those things should be independent of the founder. And then once you do that, can you start teaching the children to appreciate some of those pillars of running an enterprise? The moment you do that, the things will do it. Nobody now remembers who owns Stanbic.
No.
The systems that are running Stanbic in Uganda are the systems that are running Stanbic in South Africa.
That's true.
Nobody remembers who founded MTN. No. The systems that are making MTN to go all over the globe are the ones that are now making MTN to outlive the founder.
Okay.
If the founder is so integrated in every aspect of running that entity is going to falter.
Ochichi, right there is, I don't want us to lose this traction. This is like the defining moment for our conversation. You've talked about reciprocity. Yes, giving and that gives that giving. You've talked about systems.
Yes.
Ruth has been very big on values.
Yeah.
But again, in defense of my people who have not done what you have done right, there are always underlying factors. And the reason we are here is to have the psychologist to understand the story behind the story.
Yeah.
Whether it has been done wrong, to correct the path, to autocorrect, and those who are doing right to be encouraged, but also to demystify the little limiting beliefs.
Yes.
I have picked inspiration here for our next topic. I didn't even plan this. We have kindness and love. I can say we all aspire to show some kindness, and also to receive it. That's a reciprocation.
Yes.
We love our love languages, our personality types. We've talked about money types. But also, our innate wiring, as Ruth will agree, informs why one person is so generous, another is a hoarder. So we are going to move into a delicate segment. And our dear audience, if you can stick with us for now, this is the gist of the matter. We are going to take a moment with the very, very professional and well-experienced psychologist to tell us about our money types. Then we have personality types of extrovert, choleric, sanguine, and we've taken time to learn. Me, I am like this. The other one is weird like that. No wonder people who do like this. Can you please take us through the money types? We have to give this a bit of time, so please don't feel rushed, so that we understand our money types. Then we can shift the conversation in a way that will help us not feel paralyzed to take action.
Okay.
So please tell us about money types.
I want to say this. No matter what the money type you are, you still can be wealthy. The only thing is that if you dwell on your weakness as a money type, then you'll go down. But if you pick up your strengths, you can use it to generate wealth and to store wealth and even transgenerate
So basically, defining the money type has nothing to do with whether you'll be wealthy or not. It's just an awareness.
It's an awareness.
Okay,
Very
please
correct.
go ahead. Just break down the types for the audience.
I am going to give it simple names. Okay? Very simple, like animals, I would say this. I would say number one is the lion. The lion is a risk taker. He is result-oriented. He is hardworking, decisive,
Principled.
principled, and he can see a big picture, a very big picture. Now, this kind of person will most likely be successful because he takes risks. But he is also, his strengths are his undoing because he probably doesn't listen.
The lion.
The lion. He's a lone ranger, rarely keeps people, his network strong because he can get results.
The side eye.
Because he does not want to waste time with people who don't think like him, you know. The lion, in his own thing, he's bold and makes enemies who can bring him down, you know.
Oh, because they are ruthless at times. They forget
Yes, he's a go-getter, and sometimes when you are a go-getter, have
You
you seen
step on
rugby?
toes.
Rugby, they don't care whether this is your friend, they will edge you. And sometimes you lose valuable people, you know, as the lion. However, of all the personalities, the person that is most likely to stay wealthy is the lion. Because they have a vision,
They are disciplined, drive,
they
passion.
go ahead, but they burn a lot of bridges on the way because no one comes between them and a vision. Okay? They have a vision.
Let's ask
and
the
they
wealthy
go
lion,
for
do
it.
you have friends?
He might
The
have-
wealthy lion to my left, do you have, how many bridges have you burned?
Their friends naturally are for a season and
A purpose.
a purpose.
Investment club. Don't ask me about my birthday.
Yes, they don't have that. But they also, they use a lot of facts. They don't want to go through the
Emotions.
emotions and all that. They don't put
Okay,
in
the
that.
next category,
The
because time is
next category,
really...
let's call them the monkeys. The monkeys love life. They are happy. They are there for the moment. They love the crowd, okay? And that is their undoing because they want to please. They don't want sadness. They don't want to go through pain. So the monkeys...
Hello, monkeys.
The monkeys don't want the pain that goes with patience, that goes with hard work. They want it easy, and they are the ones that can quickly go for the bet to get the money quickly.
The betting, they're the ones who are doing capapula.
The spending habit
So
of
hello,
of
monkeys who are
money.
betting on money and
As long
assets.
as it is with people, as long as it makes them happy, and as long as they can stay comfortable.
The time is really going fast.
Their undoing is that they have the customers. They are good at
personality and
they are
people pleasing
likable,
and,
they are trustworthy and all that. Then we have
the analysts.
The analysts. These analysts, I'm going to give them the giraffe.
Giraffe, I like that.
They think far. They plan for everything. But they are slow at taking risks and also taking the opportunities that are presented at them, because they keep analyzing. How much will I have by the end of next year? By 20 years. You are supposed to start a business today, but you are looking at 20 years. Why don't you start like the lion does? And then we will follow that. But they want to put even systems in place before they even start a business.
And the next one?
And that
the next
doesn't
animal?
work. And then the last animal, we would call him the tortoise. Okay? The tortoise is risk averse. You know, the moment something big is coming, that's not for me. Go in the shell, okay? But they are generous. They fear risk. They can be stingy. Everything they get, they keep, but don't know how to multiply it because they fear loss. They don't know how to deal with loss. They are friendly, they are trustworthy. They can use the fact that they are the most believable type of personality. They can borrow, they can return because they are faithful and honest. But they don't want to try.
So do you think that tortoise will have a good use for their funds? Because first of all, they won't come for it for midterm access. They won't come.
They won't come.
Because they're like, it's my money, be there, the fund will handle it better.
Yes.
But do you think a tortoise will know what to do with themselves that automatically at 55?
The strength, they have the strength.
Because we are going into that, sorry to preempt, I just wanted to take a brief moment to ask our audience, please let us know which animal you are. No judgment here. We are going to start with this table here. Please self-declare which one are you, a lion, a monkey, a giraffe, what are you? Ochichi, what are you? We're going to give yourself an animal, and a psychologist will also confirm or refute. Yes, what are you?
Mine has a dominant lion part, but there's also a giraffe part of it.
Okay.
Yeah, because I go with facts at the same time. I do the planning. I am visionary, but at the same time, I cross the line.
Yes.
I will cross the line with best effort and make sure that, as far as I'm aware, if somebody has been able to pass there, I'm also going to pass there.
Okay. Which animal are you, Ruth?
I'm more of a giraffe. I think very long term, and sometimes a tortoise.
And then
I cannot put myself out here, but for fellow monkeys, hello monkeys. Please, audience, let us know.
In the forest with your
I am a monkey. I am a monkey. It's in my blood. It's in my...
No rain. You're all over the place.
I am a monkey, but this is a very interesting conversation. Thank you, gentlemen, ladies. Thank you, audience. We look forward to your engagement. Out of this banter, we hope that we learn, we remind mindsets. And like Ruth almost mentioned, because of time, we won't go deep into her clinical mind, that there's no one size fits all. Some of us are walking around, we are size 10, wearing size 8. Others are size 10, wearing size 13, in terms of financial literacy and decisions. So the purpose of these trainings or these webinars is to make sure that you find your right foot. Because if you wear a shoe too big, if I'm a monkey and you tell me to start being a lion, it will be me wearing like shoes that don't fit me. My walk will be staggered, my gait will be affected. Then also if I try to, so that is why we want to have these at a time where it's casual and it's laughable, but when you go to sit with yourself, people journal, people pray, people plan. I saw people already posting their annual plans for 2026. I'm like, you guys, what are you doing? We are still eating our money. Monkeys don't do that. And then there's also this whole thing about manifesting. If you're the vision board person, understand your money type and build your board in reality with this new knowledge, and also seek help, professional help. I've told you I've been led to the party.
But it's not a bad one. The one of getting help, where you segregate your knowledge, your classroom knowledge from real life.
Yeah.
So thank you so much. We are getting into the final segment.
Just a comment on what Ruth has just covered in terms of the different animal types. I wanted people to recognize what she also said in the very beginning. She said, never ever imagine that by your DNA, this is you.
Yeah.
And then you use that one to justify your
back.
poverty.
To justify.
Never ever do that. Why? You can always keep taking new actions consistently and recreate a new person in you.
That is true, yeah.
So what does that mean? You need to begin to have a vision somewhere where you want to go.
And at any time,
And then,
change.
as you do that, you change the way you talk. You must begin to match with that. There is no way you talk about having that vision and then you also say, me, I'm just a tortoise. Me, I'm just a tortoise.
Yeah.
It will not work. You've decided to say by next year that house will be finished.
Yes.
Which action should you do? Information seeking. But as you do the actions, which company are you associating with? Are you associating with doubters? Pessimists?
Yes.
If you are doing that and you are trying to go in a different direction, you are fighting yourself. It won't work.
That is true.
And that's why it is so hard to change a person overnight.
Okay.
Until you are put on their shoes and begin to shape them from their thinking internally and cause them to start taking new but consistent actions. And mark you, the actions don't need to be mega.
No, they don't.
Modest, consistent, but
Modest,
in a particular direction.
That's the discipline you talked about.
Correct.
Yeah.
You'll create a new person.
Panelists.
So nobody should ever hide in any particular category.
particular category. Thank you
Yeah.
very much. Time is really not on our side. The questions have started coming in. We want to give our audience a chance. So one very last segment that is a bit sticky that we are going to, before we go to the Q&A, is money in itself, or wealth, is measured in freedom. The choices you're able to make or not make, and the choice you control. The most valuable thing about money, they say, is the choice it affords you. Your freedom may not show up in many ways. It may not show up in your bank account, but it will show up in the way you feel in the morning, in the peace of mind, and the choices you make. But also, on the downside, accumulating too much wealth can come at a cost of the things that really matter. We say the best things are free, the things money can't buy. Can we talk about the downside of wealth before we dive into the Q&A? Ruth first. The downside of just going and accumulating and looking and just...
Okay. Can we say that is greed?
If you want to name it so, you're the...
That
You can name it.
Call it
You can
greed.
call it what you want.
We'll say that we must learn to understand where I stop. And I have put in systems, and I'm going to be satisfied with the amount of time, amount of energy that I have put in. Otherwise, where they say money is evil is where you stop making other people comfortable. You also stop making yourself comfortable.
You stop enjoying it.
You stop enjoying it.
The curse of money, or the curse of where money becomes a curse.
Where you have to look over your shoulder, you have to have all the security, but you are not even feeling secure. You remember Escobar? He made
But let's talk
billions.
about Escobar. He made money and he needed to save his daughter during a ride. And he lit a truck on fire. Isn't that a freedom? That you can burn a truck full of dollars and feel nothing if you have to save your child, the same way you want to be able to pay your medical bill. Escobar burnt a truck full of dollars to save his child.
But that was in circumstances that were not happy at all.
Oh, meaning there was already some
even
bad
after
events.
that, was he happy? You know, he saved his daughter, but was he happy as himself?
Because he had to be on the run and
had
he
to
never
be on
enjoyed the
run,
money.
Can't even sleep an hour and all that. So the downside of money is greed, whereby you don't want to be satisfied, contented, not satisfied.
When do you draw the
contented
line?
with
The
that.
sky is the limit. When does one draw the line?
The line depends on you
Good.
as a person. It really depends on you, where you sit back and you're thankful that you have reached that point of view. And you are not, you are in a position where you can meet all your needs in the best way possible. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. Oshishi, tell us about the intrinsic value of money. To
Very
add
good indeed.
the
Let me pick
intrinsic
from
value.
what Ruth has just covered. Here's the message. Wealth does not want to be anywhere where it does not continue to grow.
Yeah.
In a stifling environment,
it must continue to grow. If it doesn't, you, the one who's not making it to grow, will sell it off. You've seen poor people in the neighborhood of a beautiful Kayonga, where now investors are putting modern farms, and then there's a poor neighbor here who's failing to do the same.
And refusing
and
to sell.
And he's begging this fellow now, please buy this thing, my son wants to get married. Wealth does not want
but
to
therein, do you see that the poor
person
is selling for the son's marriage?
That's what I'm saying.
Why
couldn't he have used this same thing here to work with a neighbor who's modern here and say, sir, can you get me also the right variety? Can you also teach me how to improve the productivity of my 1 acre? Yeah. The two are working together, but he has not sold the land.
Therein, we go back to the first principles. Let us assume this person is old and they are past NSSF getting money, but they are buying, selling their land to make a wedding, which is true of our culture. Or instead of saying, let me buy from me so that my son can maybe own a similar, but they are buying for a wedding, they're selling for a wedding.
Yeah. Now, does the wedding grow money?
That's where the word that we have not mentioned in this conversation comes in. And it's key about money. Don't omit that word. The word is budget. What you are spending, where is it coming from? Where it is coming from, is it sustainable? You have sold the land. Will you have another land next time to sell again? The person who has just done the wedding, your own son or daughter, is going to have babies in nursery. What are you going to sell for the babies to go to school?
Yeah, but right there, Ochichi, is where we are going to get into our Q&A. And luckily for us, our first question, one, speaks to that very mindset.
Correct.
But also, it is coming directly to you as Enterprise Uganda and Ochichi Enterprise Uganda, because now we are going to the part where we are empowering our savers, our audience to be able to not to be paralyzed by the fearful things Ruth has talked about. So the first question for you is the myth about loans that break up businesses. Because we talk about people who take loans and those who won't do anything, the tortoise, the monkeys, the whatever. What is the experience of Enterprise Uganda about these myths? Do loans really break up people? And then they say many rural businesses have people who have been taken into gospel truth. They take it that a loan will kill your business, Ochichi. What is that? What is it that we can do, I think, to break this barrier? Jim or Dick, thank you so much for this question.
Very quickly, loans will make you better than what you were before you took the loan, if you follow the basic principles of borrowing.
What's the catch?
So the point is, why did you pick that loan?
The why?
Was city to go to a wedding, and then you are hoping that somewhere by miracle there will be some money to pay that money, which went to a wedding. What was the purpose? Number two, if the purpose is clear, to what extent did you have the capacity to fulfill that business? You have gone into a restaurant. Did you know that there's a way you need to have a chef, you need to have a menu, you need to have all the hygiene issues? You just thought, let me just start a restaurant using a loan. Cash is there to be deployed. But the deployment of cash is to generate a solution. That's what people buy. We don't buy things from you because you took a loan. Naza, we come to your restaurant to get food.
Good food.
Not because you took a loan.
The loan is the back end that makes me give you good food.
How you did that, we are not interested to know.
So what is your response to this?
So my response is that loans add value.
They are just a tool. Put in the right hands and use the right way, they will take you to wealth.
Correct.
Thank you
and
very
before
much.
even you go to taking a loan, there are people who gave you items on credit. Did you pay them? That already reflects on your character. You got so many items to run your business on credit. Did you pay them?
Okay. So thank you so much for confirming what this panel has said over and over in the last almost hour and a half, that our habits, our money behavior can use the tools for good or for bad. Quickly, I want to still bring the other side of the same discussion to you, Ruth. Sometimes we get a windfall. I am here waiting for midterm access, and then maybe I get another job, and then all of a sudden I can access all my millions in the fund. So the good side, or I do my capapla and I win 10 million that I've never dreamt of, or I do a gig and I get a bonus, like Ochichi talked about, 100 million bonus. So what advice do you have for someone who hasn't thought so far about the magnitude of chance, and then the windfall comes there? Because we can plan for the worst, sometimes we forget to plan for the success.
There is something in psychology we call the pleasure principle.
Pleasure principle.
Pleasure demands that we do everything immediately. We satisfy, we gratify ourselves. But do you know that even if you postponed everything for one day, tomorrow your mindset will be different. So if you get money that you had no idea about, you'd rather put it on the account and go home and think, and go and get educated, and think about what you can do your research, do your homework. It's not time to dance.
Rose, let us be real here. Yes. The Kamane has come, what we call unplanned money, much more than my ear and eyes have thought, than I have prayed in my prayer closet. Give advice to this person who gets an unplanned windfall.
Let me talk like the giraffe that I am. I'm a planner.
There's no time to plan when money has come. Colleagues, money has come.
To plan. For me, the giraffe, I don't touch money. First thing, I wait. And I think...
I thought you don't touch your hard-earned money. No, but this one which has just come.
Give me $1 million today.
Just a second. Maybe that's when we should ask the audience to respond to that question. If you have that unplanned windfall, not the one which you have been saving faithfully, how do you want to handle it after this literacy program?
I think wait. The pleasure principle kills.
Pleasure principle kills.
Wait.
What's the value of waiting?
Waiting. Because in a day or two, things change.
The brain will calm down.
The brain will calm down.
You will begin to look at things in a sober manner.
The mind will be sober. Otherwise, if you rush to say, now, the car I have never bought, the dress, the shoe, my uncle, my cousin, that money will get finished. There's never been an amount of money that is enough.
So Ruth is telling us, in summary, the pleasure principle kills.
It doesn't have to be satisfied.
It doesn't have to be satisfied now. Thank you so much. This is an interesting conversation to follow.
And as you do that, as you pick this pleasure money, just know that cash has got two aspects about it that make it very dangerous to a person who's holding. Number one, it's very liquid.
Yes.
It can buy anything. If you give you a chair now, you can't use this chair to go and buy a kilo of meat. But the moment I give you 100,000, you can buy a kilo of meat, you can buy some soda here, you can take it. Liquidity has that vulnerability of the holder.
That is the pleasure.
That's number one about cash. Number two thing about cash is that it can be spent in the smallest denomination possible.
Yes.
If you have 1 million, you spend.
It can go. $1 billion can go easily, and 1,000 can go easily. In other words, it can. If people start seeing that you have been giving away 2,000, suddenly 15 people have turned up and each one's asking for 15,000.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Now, because of that, anybody holding money, do what she said, calm down. Come up with a program, put it into the budget, and check how it will grow.
So listeners and our audience, once you get your unplanned money, switch off your phone, go home, lock yourself for 2 days, according to the psychologist. Don't touch it.
Don't act like there is no money that has come to you.
Yeah, we've had people who have refused to change their lifestyles, no matter how much they earn. And those are interesting case studies. But to your point and to your credit, Ochichi and Enterprise, some of the listeners and viewers have said they think the best way forward is to continue having such engagements with retirees before, in capital letters, the money is accessed. NSSF before. So they're telling us that these financial literacy programs are doing something. Thank you for appreciating. And they say Enterprise Uganda is very good at training and follow-up.
Very good.
This means it helps to go to the preventative side. So thank you, Enterprise Uganda, more of prevention than curing. Thank you very, very much for that confirmation, and we are happy that our time here is not wasted. Please keep sending the questions. We are in the last final leg, the final lap, where we want to hear from you. We've done all the talking. Maybe this one can go to Ruth. What are we missing? What is the missing link between behavior and money and our education system? Indians attend our very nursery schools, primary schools, secondary school. But how they manage, for example, at Makerere, where our Indian OBs and OGs end up, yet we never see them looking for jobs in Uganda or standing for SEC positions. What is missing from Indian families? The cultural aspect. Ruth, this one has to come to you.
A lot of it has to do with mindset. A lot of mindset.
Please give specifics.
And behaviors around money. You don't find Indian kids in discourse throwing away their pocket money and all that. Mindset, family values. We seem, as we become more and more westernized, our family values are also being eroded. There was nothing wrong with our family values. When we get rich, we forget to tell the children that, you know what, I'm giving you only 500. I hear kids are being given 500,000 for pocket money.
Yeah.
No, schools should have limits. 100,000 a month, a term, is even enough if you've bought everything. So family values, mindset, and exposure to money early enough. We don't give our children exposure to handling money. We only start giving them money they can plan on at university. Yeah, we don't even let them into our own money spaces. We count our money. They don't know how much we earn. The moment we start having secrets around money, they become a mystery that the children want to discover. They also think you have an endless flow of money. So when children don't know how much money you are earning, they keep asking. They don't know how to save for themselves. And they will always come back, Daddy, I don't have money. Mommy, I don't have money. And because of that, they don't think about what can I do to save a little or on the side so that I can support Daddy to give me a little more money. You understand?
That reminds
our
me.
education system too.
Just a second, please. Yeah. For our audience that's joining us, that's a very important conversation, very wide. But if you want to catch a detailed webinar that happened in this very platform, there was a discussion on money and parenting. Please, I'll request a media link to link this to this show so that after watching this, please go back and watch, if you're a parent, an aspiring parent, to watch the financial literacy webinar on money and parenting. Please go back.
Our education system does not give us spaces for our children to thrive money-wise. Why? There is this child who is got money and thinks he can sell sweets to his fellow classmates. And he makes extra money and buys more and buys more. By the time he's in P7, he has saved 500,000. But if the headmaster discovers that he is selling sweets, he will be punished and sent home, you know? So even the educators that we have needs to be educated about some people who are naturally gifted to make money, so that when you see that, don't kill it. Direct it and guide it.
Don't throw out the baby with the bathwater.
Yeah, direct it and guide it so that the kid should not kill what he is growing. It's very important. I know children can take advantage and steal and all that. But if you see one child who is good, nurture that. You as a parent, if you see your child has got some good business kind of thing, don't say, I'm not exposing my child to money.
Money is evil.
Yeah, money is evil. That is the myth that came.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
Very good. Just a quick comment also to what Ruth has just said. May I say this? Africans can do the same practice.
As Indians.
As Indians. But what she has said is what we've tried to avoid. When you have a business, you don't want your child to go there because, you know, they're allergic to this, they're allergic to, so they can't go to a chicken house.
You mean allergic in the scientific terms or allergic in the narrative?
You put your child to that sensitive level.
Slowly.
Where
is it
now?
The narrative of a doctor's confirmation or the narrative?
It is now the so-called affluent image.
Yes.
My child cannot be seen to be
In
going
the
to
chicken
feed
house.
the
So it is a narrative.
Yeah,
Yes,
a
mental
the Indian will be
narrative.
saying, you're on holiday, please go from now onward, this one's taking leave. Can you be in charge of feeding the chicken? But as he's doing that, you are earning your pocket money. As you are going back to school, it is that pocket money that you are going to take, not the one who's going to just say, you are my son.
Then
yes,
you go to
money.
the ATM.
No, you earned it, go. Next time, next holiday, you just say, the child will say, Daddy, whom can I replace for this holiday? I want to earn my pocket money. Do you see how you're already making it something exciting rather than kind of a punishment or something? The kid will even be telling you interesting findings.
So that the whole money behavior thing, to bring this to a nice bow, has more than, there are many ways to skin a cow, but it starts with the value, the underlying, the home, the dynamics.
Correct. I bet you had parents saying, I suffered a lot when I was growing up. I don't want my child to go through the same. What do they mean by saying that? They shouldn't be cleaning their bedrooms.
So suffering also becomes subjective.
He looks at the background thing which built him and gave him all the stability to be what he is, and is using that as a negative
and
thing.
Calls it suffering.
For us in Enterprise Uganda, we actually say, you rather replace that sentence by another one which says, I come from a tough, hard-working background. I don't want any less for my friends and my beloved. Tough, hard-working background. That's our identity. The moment your children begin to speak that, it's done.
I wish we had more time, because I would be bringing Ruth into the dynamics of strong black African woman and how we are carried, because we are the primary first financial literacy educators. You know, like this, I say it humbly, but also our illiteracy is not just ours, it's passed on. I'll say this in the most respectful way. Another one. My grandmother could have been wealthy, and I'm sure she didn't die poor. May her soul rest in peace. But I was shocked after her death, the amount of actual cash that was found under her bed. Under her bed. But anyway, that's a conversation that maybe the fund will give us a time to talk about. Thank you so much, those who have stayed with us this far. We've come a long way with this money and behavior conversation. We started with the myths around money. We dissected them. Ruth here, the psychologist that she is, has helped us understand the psychology around money. We've talked about fears around money. Ochichi has given us a dissection between risk, chance, wealth, prosperity. We've talked about new money, old money. We've talked about personality money types, monkeys, tortoise, giraffes. It's been great. It's been fun. And before we call on the fund, because it looks like the questions are slow in coming, just give us your 1, 2, 3 takeaways on how we should take this conversation about money and behavior as we invite the fund to seal this conversation for us. Ochichi, you'll go first, and then Ruth, your 1, 2, 3 about money and behavior that our audience should take away.
I've got 2 or so statements I'm going to make. The first one will be that there are so many ways of accessing the word cash or money. Donations, gifts, salaries, good luck, betting, all those are there. But there's only one way of receiving money and sustainably keeping it in your hands, and that is at the marketplace. In other words, sell a service, sell a good.
That is a practical way to start thinking about even being wealthy. Sell a service, sell a good. The behind the scenes is up to you. The second one?
If you are a salary person, there is some money that you got. Did you sell a service? Did you sell a good? We are simply saying,
so
my
for every income
is going to be looking after me for the whatever years. It's going to end. Whether it's in State House, whether it's in Parliament, whether it's in a church,
whether it's in UN,
it's going to end. When it ends, your cattle farm cannot end. It should continue. So that's the first statement I want. Just
for every income, sell a service or a product.
Yes.
Number 2.
Money came. Number 2, each time you get a customer. So the first one was saying associate with the customer, but the second one is fundamental. Each time you get a customer, your joy should not be so much about what he has left behind, in other words, the cash or the money, but how the customer feels when he has left your premises and has consumed
how the customer feels. So the emotion around the service and the good.
Because that fellow came not out of sympathy, he wanted value for money. For you, you are focusing on his money. So you put some rotten meat at the bottom here, then you take it home, discover part of the meat was rotten.
Basically, part of the money was wasted.
Exactly.
Yeah. So
that point number 2 simply says, whereas a customer in the first statement is fundamental, to keep the customer, satisfy their minimum expectations.
Satisfy them. That is the businessman, the wealthy Ochichi.
Correct.
Thank you.
That one, you can't escape it.
Okay. Ruth, in 2 minutes.
I would want to say this, that the mystery, okay, the future, your future wealth is not a mystery. It's a combination.
Future wealth is not a mystery. Say that to the people at the back.
Yes. The
Future wealth.
future wealth is not a mystery. It's a combination of your daily habits and behaviors around money, coupled with your mindset around money. So begin with the list that you have and start thinking, if you continue earning and keeping the little money that you have, how long is it going to take you to get wealthy? It's important that you start changing or analyzing the behavior that you have around money. Impulse buying, saving culture. It doesn't matter whether you save 100 shillings or 1,000 shillings, but you must save and avoid being indebted without a reason behind the debt that you have.
That's the second one? Or
Yes.
it's combined?
It's combined.
Okay. Thank you
That's
so
the
much.
behavior around
Behavior around money.
And that behavior around money, it multiplies over the
Compounds.
time.
I think NSSF separate word is compound.
It's compounds.
Compounds.
Over the
So the way
years.
money compounds, even our money
Money
behavior compounds.
over a long time.
Okay, thank you so
let's
much.
check what is our behavior around money.
Because it compounds.
Because it compounds with age. Yeah.
Thank you so much, those who've tuned in. My one thought is basically because of my biggest lesson that I'm learning in my late age is the biggest risk is not taking any risk at all. So I am going to start taking more financial risks. And I am, this juncture, going to invite our NSSF team to come and put a bow on this very lovely conversation. NSSF, please. Take us away.
Wow. Thank you so much. Thank you, Nanza. Thank you, Mr. Ochichi. Thank you, Ruth. I like the name Ruth because that's the name of my mother. So thank you. On this table, you are my favorite one. But as I want us to just continue a bit on that conversation of compounding. Behavior compounds. Money compounds. When you talk about money, every almost 7 years, if you put your money at NSSF right now and you leave it there for 7 years, it will probably double. It will actually, not probably, it will double. If it has been getting the basic of about 10%. So when you put aside a little money and you leave it and you give it time, one of the behaviors today I have picked, and I really want that should go with everyone, is the behavior of giving money time. When you give money time, you know, it takes so much time to make money. And you need to give that money time to spend it. We take 40 years, 30 years making money, and then in 2 years we have taken it away. The behavior of time. It is so evident in people that if someone, right now we are doing this, we are watching from wherever you are watching, if a message taps on your phone and they say, you have received this much money, your temperatures go up. You start sweating. You start becoming uneasy. You start questioning yourself, what am I exactly doing? Listening to these things, I have money. Money takes you over. At that point, it is the one directing your behavior. It starts asking you questions. Why not? Why don't you answer? Why don't you have natural hair? You know, natural hair is not the normal natural hair. Why don't you get that weave? And you ask yourself, why not? You go and swipe. All of a sudden, you are swiping. You are swiping and with so much enthusiasm because the money is taking over. The aspect, the behavior of time. I have picked also the behavior of budgeting. Budgeting is a behavior. Yes. It is financial behavior to budget. Budgeting is you telling your money where it should go instead of wondering where it went. Most of us say, hey, I had some money. Then you pick up a pen and you get a notebook and you religiously start listing down where you have spent all your money. And you're saying, let me first budget for it. No, you have not budgeted. You are just taking a records post-mortem. Budgeting is a financial behavior and it should be picked up. Where you have grown from, where you have been raised, what your parents did, whether it was a bad background, that's not your fault. But it's entirely your fault when a bad background comes from you. So it should take up those behaviors to make sure that if what you consider as the back was not a good thing, it shouldn't happen in your family. Gone are those days when we start talking about, my parents used to be this. No, you are now the parent. So I am so grateful for this conversation. This conversation is such timely. It lands when we have just had the conversation of financial parenting. Now we're talking about behavior. And most people keep wondering, NSSF, when are you going to tell us about the options? Ladies and gentlemen, the options you know. The options are out there. What you need to be asking yourself, why am I not clicking my phone to go to those options? So in our mode of conversation, we try to tap into those things that are inhibiting you from asking the right questions, from having the right conversations. And this morning we've been having money and behavior. We have talked about the monkeys, we've talked about the graphs, we've talked about so many things. Who are you? I need you to start now understanding who are you. Go and have that conversation with your children and start understanding among them who are the monkeys, who are these, and then work out a plan with them. NSSF offers those plans, and today we've been hosted in a very good facility. These guys can't see the view I'm seeing here, but I'm seeing Lake Victoria. I think I'm even seeing Kenya right now. From Butabika, we are at Butabika Enterprise. Uganda has been kind enough to host us, and we are doing a collaboration with them where if business is going to be your other source of income, if you feel business is going to be your other source of income, we have a collaboration with them where they will skill you, they will talk to you, they will get you into that particular frame where when you pick your NSSF money or while you're accumulating your NSSF money, you are actually doing something. So allow me to just get back to my guests here as we wind up and do our finishing. You try to get the finishing remarks, but the headmaster of this school actually is the one to do the winding remarks. I wasn't there to open this. My colleague did open this for us, but I didn't give the proper instructions. This is the School of Money. And in this school, I am referred to as Sir Headmaster, Sir. So, Ruth, you need to repeat after me.
Sir Headmaster, Sir.
Yes, and we are winding down this School of Money. But before we do that, we always have homework. What is that one thing? What is that one billboard? What is that one book, one video, one nugget you feel like you need to live with these persons as homework that if they go and deliver on it, it will change? What is that one book, one video? Because now we have expanded. It used to be books. Now we have expanded to other things other than books because there are people who have a very bad reading culture. They don't even read billboards. But I hope we can capture those with videos and podcasts. So I'll begin with you, Mama Ruth.
Okay, I'll say this. Check yourself and look at one behavior around money that you need to work on, and do everything you can do to improve the negative behavior around money that you have.
Thank you. Thank you. I hope you have heard. I hope all of you out there have heard. The moderator, she's been throwing quite a number of questions and and pulling out information from all the other persons. But what is that one nugget that you would need to leave so that when we frame it, we say, Nanza said?
Mine will be a book, The Psychology of Money. If you don't want to read, you can listen to the book. So The Psychology of Money, really get to know the why, because there's no one size fits all. So Psychology of Money, the book, audio or whatever.
But pick out one item that is outstanding in that.
Oh, the one item in that book that is very outstanding, again, is about behavior and money, is the whole understanding of how we make the money choices, the psychology behind our why the person bets and one wins a lottery and does work. So the psychology of money, basically, it's the very first chapter that explains our disposition. Yeah. So Psychology of Money, the book.
Thank you. And finally, to the host, where we are seated right now, it is still work in progress, but this is the future boardroom, and he has been kind enough to say, even if I haven't fitted it yet, please come and let's have this conversation. Mr. Ochichi Charles himself, what is that? I mean, for you are so many nuggets. But what is that one thing that you need to leave with us today in this home? I need to emphasize this is the Enterprise Uganda new home and facility in Butabika. Yes, sir.
As I mentioned, my nugget in this pristine home called Enterprise Uganda's National Center of Excellence. The one word that I want Ugandans to begin to absorb and not call it some corporate thing, something distant about government, the little word is budget.
Budget.
You got the money, settle down and just say, what are my overheads? What am I saving and reinvesting? What am I going to use for my family? What am I going to use for community and for my God? Once you have this, stick to your budget lines. It's done. In other words, you have allocated the money, implement it. What you say you are supposed to invest it. Start the game.
Start the game.
And it is one behavior that has got no respect to the volume of money you get. You could be earning 200,000 a month, start budgeting that money. Why? The needs can be adjusted to fit the kind of envelope you have. There's a nursery school of 80,000 a term. There's a nursery school of $500,000. There's a nursery school of 2 million. Start with the one that will allow you to invest and keep upgrading your enjoyment.
Thank you, definitely. And to just add to that, there is also fish from Yalero. There is fish from a supermarket. There is fish in Kalere, and there is also fish feed, what we call fillet, which is just the bones. They will all make soup.
Yes.
So just pick where your wallet falls and enjoy it. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful morning. For me, it always blesses my heart if we are able to share this with such wonderful persons. I can rest and go and say, I did deliver for Uganda if you get that. As our bit is first is to talk. We give you what we can give you. But yours, for you to earn out of this, it is you need to actually get into action. Allow me to thank Enterprise Uganda for hosting us, the Phenon team for streaming this to you, and Live Extreme for doing those wonderful things behind in the scenes that they do, and the NSSF financial literacy team for bringing you this. Until we meet next month, we shall stick to that point of budget, psychology of money, and do not be excited. It is just money. Money is a tool. You are the master. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Very good.
Nanza, you have been pressing us very hard.
As the sun rises across Uganda, a new dawn in luxury living awakens. Salana Lifestyle in Residences is Uganda's newest, most prestigious and award-winning lifestyle destination, an address for those who dream differently. At Salana, you're close enough to the hustle of the city, but far enough to come home to a sanctuary of smart living. Join a community of like-minded individuals where everything is taken care of and safety and security come standard, where each community has a clubhouse, play area, pool, and other incredible features. Let an oasis of calm greet you at the end of each day with manicured gardens, pathways, parks, bicycle tracks, and so much more. Whether you're upscaling or settling down, buying a first home or investing,
Salana has it all. Uganda is now open to the world.